Hi guys, today we are going to see another question on lead code, and that is buddy strings. So first we'll read the question. Given two integers a and b of lowercase letters, return true if and only if we can snap two letters in a so that the result equals b. What the question is trying to say, we will see that with the help of an example. In the given example, we are given two strings. First one is a and another one is b. We have to check whether we can swap two letters in A in such a manner that we result in getting B. ठीक है, तो हमको फिर रिटर्न करना है whether true है कि false है. तो this is a very easy sort of question, but yes, it is very popular among a lot of companies. So और इससे एक बहुत important concept हमको पता चलेगा. So first, what we are going to do here is that in the approach part, first we'll check the length of the two strings. For example, if the length of A is 3 and B's length is just 2, then there's no question that we have to return true. अगर उनका साइज ही डिफरेंट है तो कभी ट्रू तो हम रिटर्न कर ही नहीं सकते हैं, क्योंकि उनमें कितना भी चेंजेस कर लो आप, दे आर नेवर गोइंग टू बी इक्वल, राइट. तो इसीलिए वहाँ पे फॉल्स 100% आने वाला है. तो फर्स्ट थिंग दैट वी आर गोइंग टू चेक इज लेंथ. Then second thing that we are going to check is equal strings. In this given example, the given strings are not equal. AB is not equals to BA. But say we have an example in which A equals to AB and B also equals to AB. So in this example, we conquer the problem of equal strings. So equal strings जब आएंगी ना, तो we will have a different part of approach. What we are going to do there, I'll be sharing that part shortly. And then the third one is non-equal strings. Non-equal strings is the most important part of this question. Like this, AB and BA, these are not equal strings and yet their lengths are equal. So we need to check them. So first we'll see what we will have to do for non-equal strings. Then we will see what we will have to do for equal strings. So for non-equal strings, what we will do is very simple. We are going to iterate both the strings and we are going to check for every element. If any two corresponding elements are not equal, then we are going to add those elements in an array list. Okay, if you don't know about array list in Java, I'm going to share the link in the description box, need not worry about that. Okay, so we are going to add those things in array list. So if you can observe, we will only have two elements in the array list. Okay, because it is given only it is given in the question that only if we can swap two letters in it, not more than that. So we will have just two letters in the array list. So we have the index in the array list, and then we are going to check a.char at dif.gat equals to 0. Dif is the name of my array list, and we are going to check it that a mein jo jahan pe. So first we will see how we will solve the problem of non-equal strings, then we will move on to equal strings. Both are very easy. सबसे पहले हम लोग क्या करेंगे, we are going to iterate both of these arrays and we are going to check at every iteration the corresponding elements of both the arrays, are they equal or not, and if they are not equal, then we are going to add the index in the array list. What I am trying to say here is that I started traversing. First I saw here A and here is B, they are not equal, right? So I'm going to add this index in an array list named as DIF, and in this DIF I am first going to add 0, and then I see that on first element of A is B and first element of B is A, so these are also not equal. So I'm also going to add this index in this DIF array list. So DIF will always have a size of two elements because it is given in the question that we can swap two letters in A only. Okay, so if we need to swap two letters, then we are going to just add two numbers in array list, right? Okay, so what we are going to do next is that we are going to check whether a.0, the element at the 0th index or whatever the index is that equal to the element of B at 1, and with same for 1 and 0. What we are doing is very simple. We see here that A is at 0th index here and A is at 1th index here. Similarly, B is at 1th index here and B is at 0th index here. So we are going to check this equation, and if this holds true, then we are going to return true because it is very easy for us, right? We can swap these two numbers or two letters. So that's how we will solve the problem. But for equal strings, what we are going to do is very simple. I'm going to use set for this purpose in Java. Set, we have a property of set, that is set doesn't contain duplicate elements in it. Okay, so what we are going to do, let's do one thing. I'll share the code with you and you will get what I'm trying to say with the help of code. Okay, so let's move on to the code. For the equal strings part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something known as set. Set is a part of collection frameworks in Java, and we will use a property here, and that is set doesn't contain any duplicate elements in it. Okay, so we are going to use that property over here, and what I feel is that if I show you the code, it would be easier for you to get it. Okay, so I'm going to share the code now. In the code part, what I'm going to do is first I'm going to check the length of the arrays and length of the strings. I'm going to check the length of these strings, and if they are equal, then I'm going to move ahead, and if it is not equal, then I'm going to return false, right? We have discussed about it earlier. And then next thing that I'm going to check is equal. Okay, so I'm going to check whether the two strings are equal or not. For that purpose, I'm using this a dot equals b, and if they are equal, then I'm going to resolve this with the help of set, as I told earlier in the approach part as well. You might be knowing that set is an interface in Java, and that is why we can't create objects of it. So that is why I'm using hash set over here and here set, and obviously the data type of set will be character because this is a string. And then I'm going to use a for each loop to traverse each and every element of array, and I'm going to add the elements of array in set. But what will happen here is that if I input a b b b b c c c, then also I will have only 3 elements in my set, that is a, b and c. Okay, and then I'm going to check whether the size of this set is less than the length of the array or not. Why? We'll see through an example. Here you will see that a is aa and b is also aa, so these two are equal. Now if we apply this condition, then our set is going to contain just one element, and that is a. So s dot size will be 1 and a dot length is 2. Okay, so is 1 less than 2? Yes, so we are going to return true in this case. But if you see this case, here also we have equal arrays, equal strings, but here if you see, the size of a is 2, and also the set will also contain 2 elements, so this condition is going to be false, and that is why we are going to return false over here. Next we can check the third condition, whether these two strings are not equal. When there is a case of non-equal strings, then what we are going to do, first we are going to declare array list, and as I told earlier, array list will contain only 2 elements in it because we have the constraints in the question. So I'm going to use a for loop to traverse each and every element, and then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to check the consequent elements of both these arrays. मतलब इसका पहले को इसके पहले से compare करूँगा और इसके second को इसके second से compare करूँगा, and so on. And if I see any mismatch in these two strings, then I'm going to add that particular index. वो index को मैं array में add कर लूँगा. ओके, यहाँ पे आप देखो D है और यहाँ पे C है उसी इंडेक्स पे, so I'm going to add this index in array list, and similarly here is C and here is B, so I'm also going to add this index in my array list. Now I have a very simple and very easy to understand equation over here, and that is I'm going to return true if this big thing is true. This is nothing really. Now what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to return this true if all this condition gets true. This is very easy thing, just see. If diff dot size is equal to 2, as we have discussed that there can be at most 2 elements in the set. Okay, so we have to check this condition first. This should be true. Then the next condition is what we have discussed earlier, that is a of 0, b of 1, a of 1 and b of 0, they should be equal, right? This is the base condition, and that is why we are checking this. So if these are true, we are going to return true, and if any of these gets false, then we are going to return false. Okay, so this was all about this question. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can like, comment, share, subscribe, जो भी करना है इसको काट देना, अभी शायद ये गलती से हो गया मेरे से, and bye bye.